So I'd like to welcome these really cool, talented women to Montreal Rocks. And they're opening up for Evanescence. It's The Warning.
Yay, hey everyone!
Hello.
This is not the biggest stadium you've ever played in, is it? Or arena?
I don't think so, no.
I think the biggest one that we've played for was 70,000 people
Wow.
with Muse in Lyon.
Muse.
France.
Yeah, you were touring with Muse.
Yes.
Did that
was a
feel
year ago.
surreal to you?
It was very surreal.
Yeah. Do you ever get intimidated, or are you so used to it now? Because
I don't think I would use the word intimidated, but more than likely like impressed or just like overwhelmed with shocked with how much talent and amazing music people can make. It's just amazing. We love having lived through all these experiences.
wow. Yeah, but you all three have been playing music since very, very young, like childhood, right?
Yeah.
So it all started when we were very, very young. We all started playing the piano,
Yes.
but it wasn't until our parents bought us a video game, the Rock Band. So we always lived in a very musical environment. Our parents are not musicians, but they love music. So
Okay.
we would always hear music around the house. Our like family time would be like watching DVDs of concerts, like Queen concerts,
Wow.
Elton John concerts, maybe like Pink Floyd concerts.
Okay.
But it wasn't until they bought us a video game, the Rock Band, that we really loved what we saw on that screen. You know,
Yeah.
Dani and Pau played all the time. I was very young, so I just like watched them play. But that's what mainly inspired us to do what we do today. Dani, after that, grabbed the guitar, then Pau the drums. I eventually picked up the bass.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I picked up the bass that we were like, oh, we can play together. So we did a cover of God Gave Rock and Roll to You, the version by Kiss. And after that, that's, you know,
The
we
rest
kept
is
on
history.
writing music. And yeah, and 10 years later,
Wow.
we're here. Yeah.
10 years. That's crazy. Yeah. I took piano too. So you all started off with piano.
Yeah.
And like this has been your whole life for so long. Like did you finish school? Were you homeschooled or?
There was one point that we had to like kind of balance school with what, recording an album.
Right.
But we did finish high school.
We finished until high school.
Okay.
And again, we were very flexible with school because we were like having shows, playing festivals, recording albums, doing interviews, traveling. And it was like, I have a math exam next Monday.
Wow,
Okay. But I mean, we managed to get through it.
Well, I can imagine you have a crazy schedule because you're touring and then putting out albums and then touring and putting it like, is there any downtime at all?
I feel like not really, but you have to, it's more of like a mentality, like you have to let yourself maybe for an hour not concentrate on anything that is work related. And you get like these little like tiny time lapses, but no, we're mostly on all the time.
I was like, I listened to your music and I've seen you perform. You did not this August, the August before, as I said, at Le Studio TD with the Errors tour. And your music is like so intense. It's like so hard. So how do you like relax though? Do you relax ever?
I think we're good at, well, I don't know how good we are at relaxing, but I think that people, since they see us play, they think we listen to that type of music all the time, that we live in
okay.
that all the time,
Yeah.
and we don't.
You don't.
At least we try not to, because
Okay.
it can be very overwhelming, but yeah, so we try to relax as best as we can.
Well, what do you do to relax though? Like, how do you unwind after a show or a tour or whatever? Like, what are your happy places? Is there a place you go and you're like, okay, I just want to go? Like, I'll give you an example. Do you know who Kate Nash is? I just saw her. She was performing here recently. And on her Instagram, in between her tour, she'll go to like an animal shelter and like play with puppies and stuff. It was so cute.
nice.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's like she's touring on a bus all
Yeah.
around North America. So I was like, wow, like who would have thought of that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
It's like reconnecting with nature, so I get
Yeah.
it. But what do we do to relax?
Lo-fi music.
Yes. I like to watch people play video games.
Really?
Yeah, with no commentary, just like them playing
Okay.
to fall asleep. Yeah.
Like cooking videos.
Cooking
Oh,
videos.
cooking
people
videos.
making like ASMR cake videos.
Oh,
Those are fun.
yes. Okay, at night if I can't sleep, I'll put on Martha Stewart Bakes. But she has to be making pastry.
Okay.
Nothing heavy, like something fluffy and soft and light. Yes, it's ASMR. Yeah, because your music is super intense. And do people just think you're like angry all the time?
I don't know if angry, but they do meet us and they say one or two things like you're smaller than we thought you were because we're short, and you're like sweet. Like they see the opposite of what they see on stage when they meet us like at meet and greets and stuff.
Right.
And you're like,
Do you have to get into a headspace? Like, do you have a ritual before you get on stage, especially today? So you're opening for Evanescence and you're in a big arena and it's going to be, well, you're used to it, but do you have to, how do you prepare for that?
I don't think that we do
No?
this whole. I think that we've been doing it for so long.
Okay, it's normal.
That it's just a really automatic switch that just turns on. But I mean, for this tour, we've been kind of bougie. We brought a trainer with us, and we've been training before. Like we've been warming up and like pumping it up before the shows, and then we cooled down after the show, which I feel like it's. I don't think people think about that, but that is the best thing that has ever happened to us. We stretch and then we meditate.
Okay.
And that has helped us a lot.
That's
like,
important.
touring. Yeah,
Yes.
it's been good.
You see a lot of musicians burning out, having injuries, you know? Yeah, so you stay in shape.
yes, we try to.
It's not bougie.
Okay. Wait.
I feel like it is
No,
because,
well-
I mean, we have to bring more people on tour and like sometimes... Well, I feel like we've been doing it for so long and it's always been like, ooh, like when we have our own like big tours, we can bring a trainer. But this isn't like our big tour. We're supporting and now we have a trainer with us and it's like, I feel like imposter syndrome. Like I should not be having a trainer with me. But I'm glad we do because it's been a
it's
game
good.
changer.
Well, yeah, it's going to ensure your longevity. If you're in shape, you
sure.
can keep doing it. And, you know, I've seen a lot of videos where you have a lot of musicians in backstage after a show, they're getting massages and they have a physio and an osteopath and,
Man.
all that.
The
stuff.
dream. Yeah.
Because I see like Lady Gaga doing that. It's like,
okay.
I'm not Lady Gaga.
No, but hold up. But she had health issues. So you're doing, this is preventative.
Yeah, you're right.
It's responsible.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not bougie. Well, speaking of longevity, you're obviously still very, very young, but do you see yourselves doing this until like your 60s and 70s? Like I just saw Stevie Nicks on SNL. Did you see her? And people were like giving negative comments online because she's, in her 70s, she's in her 70s, you know?
Yeah.
And number one is, do you look at comments online or do you just avoid that stuff? Because it could be...
I avoid it.
Yeah.
I mean, if people are criticizing Stevie Nicks
I know.
at her 70s, like that's
Yeah.
insane to me.
Yeah.
I mean, no. But we try not to look at comments because people will just attack you for anything.
For anything.
And also, even if the comments are nice, it just can be like really... It can take you out of it. It can be a lot, so we try not to.
Right.
And about the longevity thing,
Yeah.
I feel like we do see ourselves doing this as long as we possibly can. Maybe not at the pace in which we do it now, because I don't think at 70 I would be able to do like 6 shows a week. I think we would not be able to handle that. But I think it would be really cool that if we could like tour and make music at our own pace with our own time. I feel like that would be really special for sure.
I hope so, because you just keep, evolving and growing and learning. And this last album, you worked with different people. I saw that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you learned from different artists, musicians. How was that?
Yeah, we let ourselves let someone else into our creative process because
Yeah.
as sisters as well, it was just like
Like a
our-
cocoon.
yeah, for sure. It was our safe space. It still is, and inviting someone else who we don't necessarily know at that
Right.
moment
Yeah.
could be jarring because you have to be very vulnerable and just
Right.
open to
Safe space.
right, of
Yeah.
course. But we loved it, and music is about connecting with people.
Right.
So finding connections with a complete stranger who knows music as well to write the song, imagine what it can do to someone who listens to it as well. It's
Yeah.
just like a new way that we found of making
Right.
music that we loved.
Yeah, because you three, obviously, you trust each other because you're sisters.
Yeah.
And I find that so cool. They say family members work, well, when you're blood relatives as musicians, you can sort of, it's the best combination. It could be the best or the worst. Well, because you have the same DNA and you grew up together, you can read each other. Like, you don't even have to speak. Like, when you're
To know,
performing,
for
I'm
sure.
sure you can just get those instincts, like, off of each other and vibe, right? Like, unless you've known each other that well, it's not going to happen. So I think that's really magical in itself. And also, you're all three, like, so different from each other.
We are so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just the hair color.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, who's the funniest one? Oh, okay. That was not expected.
Because I want them to say me, but they're not going to say me.
Oh, no. Okay.
I don't consider myself.
I consider myself the funniest one,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's too cocky for me
No,
to say
I would
that.
say that. Like,
Are you-
I know I'm not funny. I know I'm not a funny person. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say Pow.
You're like dad humor.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Like specific moments where
It's because you can notice that I want to be funny, but I'm not like.
sometimes
but-
you are. Like,
Sometimes I
you're
am.
not unfunny. You're good.
Okay. That one, I don't know how to respond to that one. You're the middle sister, right?
Yeah.
I'm a middle sister. So we're
Twinning.
funny.
Yeah, exactly. We just are.
We're the rebels.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So the
Very
big,
stereotypical.
yeah. And you're the youngest.
I am.
Yeah. I remember the I know, like, you chose bass, you chose drums, you chose guitar, but who does the lyrics? Like, who writes lyrics?
We all have input on the lyrics, but usually they come out of Pow's brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
okay.
really big, like, teamwork for things to come out the way that they do.
Okay.
Usually I do have a lot of, like, lyrics done.
Okay.
But it isn't until, like, the three of us work on it together where it, like, really takes shape and, like,
Right.
stays like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're writing, are you thinking as a drummer? Because, like, a riff has to come in and a bass line.
Yeah.
So are you writing it as a drummer, or?
I don't
must-
think, I
no?
think learning the piano when I was
Yeah.
young really, like, set everything up for me to
Yes.
be a songwriter. Because,
Okay.
don't get me wrong, sometimes I do think in a drummer way, but most of the time I write on the piano. So it's
Okay.
like, it's born out of there more than on the
Okay.
drums.
Cool. So now you're touring with Evanescence. How long is this tour going on for?
I think it's like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Or is that a lot? Yeah.
And
Yeah. We're at the end of it. We're like 4 shows left, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you prefer big venues, or because when I had seen you guys, it was a smaller venue, but you were headliner.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between headlining and being supporting act? Like, how do you feel about that?
green rooms. Yeah. You have
More
a bigger
better
green room.
snacks?
You
Better
have
snacks?
better showers most of the time,
okay,
which
okay.
is a
Well,
big part
yeah.
of touring.
Yeah.
People don't think about that, but it makes a difference.
Okay.
But I think there's something very different about opening shows for people because you have to, like, first of all, you have to set the night. Because you are the first thing that people are going to see. You need to
Right.
bring that energy. You
Yeah.
need to get people pumped up for
Right.
the headliner. But also, it is like our goal as a band to make people like us and like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, exactly. So listen to us, and like we need to have like an impact of some sort. So it's a different mentality because when you're doing a headline, you know that people know your songs. Like, people bought the tickets to go there. Like, they're your fans. So
Yeah.
it's just like about bringing them happiness at that moment.
Okay.
And when you're doing opening shows, it's like you have to convince people to listen to you after the show. And that's how it happens in my head.
No, but it is. It
Yeah.
does happen that way because like people don't know you when you're like, or most of these people, like most of the people that are going to see us tonight don't know us. I mean, some of them maybe bought tickets to see us, but most of them didn't. So it is an important part to like try and make people like you and like your music after they leave the venue. They're like, oh, or like maybe they're like, oh, I'm going to buy their merch, or maybe like I'm going to go listen to their music, and then they check like, oh, when are they coming to Canada again? You know, like stuff like that. So it really is an important goal when we open for artists.
Okay. I'm surprised people don't know you yet. When I went to see you, I hadn't realized that you were the kids that were on that YouTube video playing Metallica.
Yeah.
I had seen that video, but I didn't realize that it was you.
Well,
Yeah.
really long ago.
I know.
It was like
But
10 years ago.
10
Yeah.
years?
And we looked very different.
well, yeah, you were
we were
really
kids.
kids. And then you went on the Ellen show. I remember that.
Yes.
That must have been weird.
It was her first interview ever.
Oh.
So that was pretty nerve-wracking. And it was her
Yeah.
first, like, one of her first performances ever. And it was on, like, international TV. And it was just very, very nerve-wracking. But, I mean, it set the tone for everything that came afterwards. So we felt very, not confident, but I was like, oh, it's not going to be, like, more nerve-wracking than the Ellen show. Yeah, for sure.
So I just thought of something. You tour with your parents, right?
Yeah.
So, mom, hi, mom. That's very important though too, because
Yeah.
you started young, and it's a rough business, and not everyone is after your better interests, I guess. So, do you think you're always going to tour with your parents?
Well, they're a big part of our team. You know,
Okay.
they're
They don't come on tours just to be mom and dad.
no,
like
I
they
know.
have
Okay.
actual like jobs within the team.
Okay.
And also, I think it's more up to them because touring gets rougher and rougher. Like we've been touring nonstop for 3 years, and next year is not going to be any different. We're going to be touring for the whole year. So, at one point, like, do they like? It's super valid to feel tired. Sometimes my mom is like, I really don't want to take that flight and go to that show. And I'm like, you don't have to. You can take like that show off. But they're also like, as parents, they want to be there for us.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't think we've ever talked about it. It's just like, it'll happen when it'll happen if they want it to happen. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing like projects, or have anyone ever approached you to do projects separate from the warning, like individual?
no. Oh my God, one thing at a time. Like,
We're just starting as a band. Like we're just starting to get there. So I can't imagine having another project and like another touring schedule and another like recording schedule. I think that would be, we would die.
Is this your fourth album though?
It is. Keep Me Fed is her fourth
Yeah.
album.
I like that title too.
Thank you.
And I like that you've got this energy that's really powerful. And I think it's important, especially because there aren't that many women in the industry. And also, it's super positive and it's encouraging. I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of young girls and fans saying, like, we want to be like you when we grow up and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do.
You get that?
And it's very sweet. And it's also like very impactful in a way that like
Yeah.
we're just doing what we love.
Yeah.
Because we've been given the opportunity to do it. Like we're just
Right.
sharing our music and giving the shows and whatever.
Right.
And if people feel inspired by that to do what they want to love, not necessarily like music in general, just like having the courage to follow your dreams and like work for them, for us, that's just like amazing.
I'm inspired by you guys.
Well, thank you.
No, really.
It's very sweet.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, thanks.
So thank you so much for talking to us. Is there anything that you want to say, or how do you like Canada, or what did you eat when you got here? I didn't ask you those questions, but
Canadian wise, we love the Canadian crowds more than anything. Like the people here are just great. We're from Mexico, so the cold is
Yeah,
just
it's cold here. It is
God,
cold.
it's so bad,
cold.
and it's not even that bad. It's just bad for
we're-
us.
And
Yes.
our October weather is good for now, because
Yeah,
we can
we-
have snow.
We toured in November, the first time we toured Canada. And we all got the stomach flu. It was just so bad. But we toured with 3 days grace, so it was great. But yeah, Canada, like Canadians always treat us like very, very nicely, and they're just an energetic crowd. So we're very happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Thank
And
you.
have a good show tonight.
Thanks.
And thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you for having us.